Matt's threat to reach the plateau, then root them out from there. The rebels were spotted hiding on the lower plateau along the south side of the mountain. Alright, so we need to get rid of those guys. That is a XR. No, not really, but it does kind of look like the statues they have where it's all falling apart. That definitely looks human to me as far as the face goes. There's really no lizard features whatsoever. Unless you look at like the legs. The legs are super thin. That's a little ridiculous for a big body like that. I mean, I realize the humans in this game may look that way, but you have to think about actual engineering. Unless this is like one solid piece of stone that somebody carved out, there is no way that kind of weight is going to be supported. Now, it does look like they have a statue, which is another kind of support beam up there, so I think that might work as well. Yeah, from OT. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, it feels like there's some EverQuest play in here. Now, if you guys see this little grass thing right over here, this is a queen's ear. Not literally a queen's ear, but it's the name of the root. And you use it for making potions. And the potion making in this game, kind of cool. I do think there's a lot of room for improvement, a lot of room for growth on that. I'm going to try to mine the stone. Although I don't think anything's going to happen to it. Yeah, nothing's going to happen there. We are going to pull out our gun and kill some of these spiders. Even though we won't get any experience for them, there's still, you know, a chance we can get some loot. Let's put down our healing. There we go. Yeah, we'll get some loot out of it. Musketeer hat, 100. And then go take that apart. Not really worth anything to us. But we'll get another queen's ear. Now, they did say the south side. So this thing is supposed to be a compass. Not really a compass if it doesn't tell you north and south. Another statue over there. That one looks a lot more intact too. Looks like an archer. Because nobody's over here. Nobody's harvesting these things. These things are usually gone immediately. Money in this game is like catnip to people. They go all out. Anything they can make money on. Because they're expecting them to add a lot more into the game at some point, and they're probably going to charge people for it from merchants and things of that sort. How about Ark in VR? I haven't actually played that game, but I hear good things about it. It's kind of hard to like imagine what it would be like in there if I haven't really played the game, but I think anything in VR, any game out there, holy crap, this thing is kicking my butt. Yep, heal me, dude, heal me. Oh, no! No! You suck. Oh, man. Where did I spawn? Way back here. Oh, okay, well, that's a little bit of a run. Are the mobs a social? No, not really. I'm trying to think about it. There's not really a lot of mobs in the game yet. When you're talking about them being social, do they add on because you're attacking one of them? No, they add on if they see you. So if I pull like that doggy over there, that little wolf way off in the distance, and he's standing next to 3 other wolves, I haven't seen them attack because I attack him. I've seen them attack because I get too close to them. Now, I have pulled more than one mob at the same time, but again, I think that was because I was too close. So I guess the answer would be maybe, but probably not, at least from what I've seen, if that makes any sense. It's a brand new game. It's kind of hard to say one way or the other what actually is and what isn't, but I mean, I've gotten pretty decently far in this game, and level 9, I mean, the max is only level 20, so level 9's not too horrible. Every level does slow down a lot more, and it takes a long time. Oh, there's a tunnel out that way. I wonder how you get up there. Oh, right here. Nice. All right. This is a really, really good spot to come over and harvest for Queen's Ear. I'm gonna have to remember this because I have pretty much all the other ingredients but this. And this spawns at the newbie area, but it spawns so rarely. And there's so many newbies over there. It's just like, can't get it. There's always somebody snagging it. There you go. There's the musket. That is a big barrel, dude. There's no way that would stay in his hands either. That's just looking like an accident waiting to happen. Another one over here. It did say the plateau, and it did say I'm looking for bandits. But I'm on the plateau, and I don't see any bandits. So let's stay on the outskirts this time. We're not gonna attack anybody unless we absolutely have to. Let's turn around. Anything over there? No, doesn't look like it. Elephant gun. Anytime I think of the elephant gun, I think of Tremors. I don't know how many of you guys actually got to see that movie. Absolutely amazing. The very first one with Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire and a couple of other guys that were in there you guys may recognize. But those guys are a little tough for me. So I don't think those are the ones I'm supposed to kill. You can tell they have a conning system in here. The stars above their names say you're probably going to get wrecked unless you're coming over here with a group. So we're going to stay away from that side. Let's come over here to the other side. If I can get my course back, I get a little bit more durability. So, say hello to my little friend. That would be a different movie altogether, but not a bad one. I haven't seen that one in a long time. That's a wizard up there, Harry. A hairy wizard at that. Oh, these guys. They're green, so they're not of any consequence. If they do happen to aggro, I should be able to kill them. Easy enough. There's my book over there. He's green, so he probably won't attack me. However, that other crab creature is still there. What am I missing here? The south side of the plateau. Let's take a look at that. Enter the cave of Mott's Throat to reach the plateau of Mott's Keep, and then root them out from there. The rebels were spotted hiding on the lower plateau along the south side of the mountain. Plateau of Mott's Keep, and root them out. I don't understand. We're either not in the right place, or it has to be we're just not in the right place. I mean, this seems like a plateau to me. But it doesn't seem like a keep. Oh, there they are. How can I get down there? Is there a bridge? Oh, there might be a bridge over here. Okay, so all we had to do is actually just follow the road. Little tiny one right there. I do like how you can see over the edge, though. Like, they're not hidden just because they're down there. They're not, like, phased out or grayed out or, you know, without or out of range or something. Okay, so that way or this way? Well, this way is probably a dead end, so we're going to go here first. We did see them from up there, so they kind of deserve our attention here. And we'll see if they aggro more than one. It does seem like there's two of them right next to each other. Alright, well, we got two right there. I'm not sure if it's because my bullets went right through them or what. But they're coming. No experience for these kills. Right in your face. I know you like the Harry Potter movies, so if they came out with a game that uses the movie in VR where you take control of any character Follow the yellow brick road. I don't know if that cut off. Follow the character, and there was anything else after that. I'm only seeing up to the character point. But if they did do that, I would play it. I am a fan of the Harry Potter series. I don't care what people say. I liked them. I thought they were very well written. Even if she doesn't produce anything of consequence ever again, those were pretty good. Ah, 104 experience points, baby. So, not these. Let's go down that way and see if we can find maybe a building or a quest item. Right? Get rid of them quickly and quietly in case of another... Perhaps there's another more peaceful way. Collect Wandering House crest. Yeah, so they just want the crest. Maybe one of them drops it. Let's see, those are all green. Green, green, green. Nothing down here to harvest either, so it's not really a fantastic spot. The one up there, man, so crazy. Yeah, true EQ experience, grind away, right? I mean, there definitely is a grind fest in here, and if you do all of the quests, because there's only so many. Again, the game's brand new, so they're going to be adding a lot more at some point. But because it is so new, there's only so many quests, and if you do them all, you're not going to be max level yet. And if you go back and play your other tunes, definitely going to have to grind on those. Wait, let's talk. There needs to be not so much bloodshed. Those guys might attack me. Let's watch this. I'm watching you, punk. I'm watching you. I'm talking to your elder over here. Why you? What did you do? My man, you bloody killed them. Please, Enforcer, spare my life and the lives of those of us that remain. I probably shouldn't have killed any of those dudes, but I didn't realize that was going to do anything. Your order and our knighthood may not see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we're just two good folk trying to do our best, right? Please let us free. I'll do anything. Just shed no more blood. You must die. Leave this place. Who are you? Oh, thank you for following, man. Sir Albert of Wonderwood. I thought my friend called me Bert. Your order and our kingdom, our knighthood may not see eye to eye. Okay. Thank you, noble enforcer. You aren't like the others, and for that, I'll honor your wishes. We'll leave this place. In fact, I'll take my men far away. The borders of the Lamora frontier, perhaps. Thank you. Thank you. I owe you a great debt now. If there is ever a way for me to clean the slate, just let it be known. Please take my knight's crest, evidence of your victory for your superiors. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll probably run into that guy a little bit in the future. That at least sound like something Hans would say. Where's my strudel? Alright, so we could kill those guys, but I kind of don't want to touch them now that we've struck a bargain. Or it might undo it. But I do kind of want to take a look around. Now, the graphics they were going for, I was told, is more of a Zelda kind of graphics. You can look at the way the world's created. I mean, it makes sense. It does definitely feel like they did it purposely. But if you guys can imagine, like, realistic graphics in a world like this, really, really cool. Alright, that's about as far as we can go. Grr, please don't hurt me. I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare my life. Calamoose. You do the thing, Dango. Very, very frightening. Please. Hey Deb, how you doing tonight, man? Or this morning? It's what time is it? It's 4:17 in the morning. We are Playing a little bit of Orbus tonight, just kind of chilling, going through some of the main storylines, getting those done. Except my morning here. Yeah, it's definitely morning here too, but we've been streaming for a few hours now. Well, actually, a little bit more. Look at that. That's cool. There's Guild City right there. And if you're afraid of heights, this look right here may be a bit much for you, but I think that's actually really beautiful. Hi, mate. Alright, let's book it out of here. But yeah, see, like this quest right here, he kind of mentioned it. Like, if you didn't kill his men, he would have reacted to you differently. I think this type of game in VR, where your actions actually start quest, your actions finish quest, without you having to go to the traditional NPC and get the quest. That's where this game will really shine. That's where this system will really start taking effect, because then it is a living world where you got an item or you got a quest. Not very many other people will be able to reproduce that quest, because it might kind of continue off of all the actions you had done previously throughout the game, including just regularly just kind of talking to people, how often you go back and talk to them, you know, how you respond to them in all the different ways. 5 p.m. here at dinner time, I talked to him, then killed his man. Did you really? What happened when you did that? I'm kind of curious. Did he drop anything? Did he give out, you know, like, did he yell at you and be like, oh, you betrayer or something? You know, like, I get that the game's only been out for 3 weeks, so, you know, the amount of extra features they can throw into the game is probably pretty small. And they probably didn't throw anything that fantastic for portraying him, but I'm just kind of curious. He didn't yell, didn't... Oh, well, yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, at that right there is like a time to shine when I killed this man. Oh, so wrong. I'm kind of curious as whether he would have said something different if you hadn't killed any of his guys. Because he was already calling me a killer. Because I had just killed like 3 of his dudes. Oh, yeah. I knew there would be something back here. For those of you who have not seen this before, this is a pillar to teach you spells. And what you do is you walk up to it with your spell book. And you put your spell book into it. If I can stop spinning around like a weirdo. Put your spell book up to it. There we go. And we got a new page. Add it. We'll see if we can find it in here. And I will show you the spells. I know, decurse, cleanse your allies, lest they fall prey to their illnesses and disease and burns and poisons. So it pretty much does everything in that one. Completed return. Yep, we're going to go ahead and return that one. Let's see. It could be where you do so much damage to certain groups in the game, the AI starts to chase you to the ends of the VR Earth. That would be cool too. I mean, I'd be okay with that. You could, you know, EverQuest 2, which was another MMO, had it where when you killed a certain number of enemies, whether it was orcs or goblins, you got a title almost, and it was like, you know, Goblin Slayer, you killed 500 of them, you know, Goblin Destroyer, you killed like 50,000 of them, you know, like, and they had all these different stages in between. It's like 500, 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, things of that sort. You know, it took a long time to get to those levels to where you actually killed that much. But if you go into a dungeon a lot and they got a lot of goblins in there, then that was a good way to kind of burn through them. And it was more of just an achievement. But in a game like this, where the world around you could be so interactive to the level of like no other game I've ever seen, that would be cool, because then goblins, you know, you almost become like that thing in Lord of the Rings where they brought the sword in, or it wasn't Lord of the Rings, it was The Hobbit. They brought the sword in, and it was the, oh, what was the name of that thing? The Goblin Slayer or something weird like that. And they were so fearful of it. And you could be the same way. Like, yeah, at a certain stage, you kill 500 goblins, you become hated by all of them. But when you get to the point where you've killed like 50,000 of them, they run away from you. You know, like they don't want to have anything to do with you because you're just so gnarly. Your reputation precedes you. And That would be like pretty sweet. Like it'd take a long time to get to that, but it'd be pretty sweet. Or, you know, like for those of you who played like Fable, silly things like if you kicked a lot of chickens, you know, they'd call you the chicken kicker. It was so silly. It was kind of stupid, but it was funny. It made you laugh because you're going through town. They're like, ah, there goes the chicken kicker, you know. And you could have the same thing where you're like, you're the guy who killed all those sheep. You know, animals that like are completely and totally defenseless, and you killed all of them, so they make fun of you for it. And yet you probably are using it to, you know, get the wool off of these things. Like right now, these things don't drop any wool, they don't drop any meat. But you know, at some point they're going to add all that into the game. They're going to give you like a very unique thing. They've actually kind of hinted at blacksmithing. If you go up a certain mountain, there's a blacksmith up there, and there's an entire shop, and he's like, oh, I'm so overworked, I really could use some help. And then it says something about like continue, but the quest doesn't, like, there's no quest written for it yet. Don't say that through my ear, you. This game, Wizard class, is like the old game, Black and White. I love Black and White. Or Risk the Goblin Cleaver, where you had to draw signs. Yeah, I actually remember that. That was a really, really sweet game. I have played the Wizard class. I know 6 or 7 spells. Can I cast them regularly? You know. Not really as well as some other people can. But, yeah, I like it. I like that it's difficult. I like that the fact that I ran into a player in a dungeon, and he was a level 20 wizard, and he was playing on his warrior, who was only level like 12 or something like that. So he's been playing a long time, and he was actually able to cast 3 spells before the first one landed. I was speechless because I have a hard enough time casting 1 spell, let alone 3, and he was able to do it consecutively. And then like to res people is a fairly complicated spell, and he was like, oh yeah, but once you learn it, you know, it's not really that bad. So I went there and I kind of watched a video where they just casted it over, and I left it on one of my monitors on the side while I was doing a lot of work, and I got the symbols down in my head. Whether I can actually cast them is another story. My cow always pooped around killing people, Marcos. You know, having animals that react in a funny way, kind of like life. You never know what the animal is going to do or how it's going to react, but it kind of gives a little bit more character. The one thing I would really love to see in this game, a friend of mine, Cypher Deck, he does videos as well, but he was telling me about a game that he just got called Invertus. It has another part to the name too. It's like Invertus Virtus Vatatas or something like that. I think it's Latin or something for something, but he's playing that one, and that one is actually, it requires you to have a headset with a mic on it, because the only way you can cast spells in that game is to speak the language. And like I said, it's kind of like a Latin Spanish mixture of words. It's its own unique word, but they teach you what it is, and it's something like, if you want to say hippopotamus, right, just right off the bat, some random word that comes out of our brain. The hippopotamus would cast like a light spell, and this one you have to draw it out. I like that. I don't want them to get rid of that. I think that's perfect the way it is, but I would love to see maybe like augmenting it. And I think the reason I like that idea is because as you get closer to people, you can hear what they're saying. And I could just imagine like the immersive factor of being on a raid and hearing all the wizards in the background chanting their magic spells to enhance them. And like, that's awesome. Like it says, the only word I can think of is Invictus. I think that's how you spell it. I'll definitely look it up and give you guys another link to that one as soon as I can. But it sounds like a pretty sweet game. I don't think I was supposed to come back to her. Maybe the priest or the bishop? Let me check that. Return to the outpost near Hurling Gate and report to Sergeant Siegfried your actions. Oh man, I was just... Alright, well, we ran back for nothing. We were just over there. It's a little bit of a journey, but we'll run it. It's good exercise, guys. It's absolutely good exercise. Let's stop and give ourselves a little treat over here. We're gonna get in the front row if we can. Gonna bypass all these guys. Yeah, rock it out, Bon Jovi. do it, man. Play that lute. Tambourine? Got that. She got the harp going on. We got, I don't know what that is that she's playing. I guess it's like a flute of some kind. Not the traditional kind made out of wood. She doesn't seem to really want to play that lute. She's really rocking that power slide. Hobbit, Orcish, the Goblin Cleaver. Oh, yeah, the Goblin Cleaver. They were so afraid of it. And I want my guy to be that afraid. Alright, Deb, you know. Get it on with one of the NPCs. Who knows? They might even put, you know, any MMO that's out there, they usually put marriage in there at some point, because there's people who play the game that are already married, and they get married in-game. There's people who aren't married in real life that get married in-game, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you got a house. Who knows if maybe you can get married to an NPC down the road and have her, like, run the farm when you're gone. Not to say it has to be her. It could be the guy running the farm. But whatever it is, maybe that helps you... I don't know. I mean, I like the fact that you can craft things in this game. I like the fact that I'm kind of addicted to the fishing. I don't know if you got to play too much of the fishing part of this game, but it's super relaxing. In fact, while we're here, this is a good spot right over here. I'll show you guys what the fishing looks like. Yeah, I missed that with Skyrim. This is such a huge city. Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, Cypher, how you doing, man? You're up late, or up early. I love it when they aren't that complicated. 20 polygons or so. Yeah, they could definitely add a little bit more, you know, to their thing. So let's make sure this is the right one. Small tooth and feather. This is what I'm looking for because I want some catfish. All right, let's bring it out. This is, as you guys can see right here in front of me, I actually made that lure. It has teeth on it. It has feathers that I got from a monster. And I am going to go ahead and cast it out in... Oh, that was a horrible cast. That was like a foot. That was absolutely abysmal. All right, durability is gone on that one. All right, sucker. That was a pretty good cast. I like it. Yep, get married, then get an in-game mortgage. You know, but then you have to do your job, which for me would be fishing to pay the rent. And it created like an in-game economy, so not too bad. You can already buy stalls, apparently. Once a month, they open up the stalls online, and you can, like, bid. I don't know what you bid, real money or in-game currency or what the case is on that one. And then you can sell your wares, but I don't think anybody's buying anything right now. All right. Oh, we got a fish, so let's reel him in. Let's see what we get, sucker. Oh, yeah, look at that. We got a catfish. Right? And you can see I have a new level up there. I'm level 9 as a Musketeer, but I'm only level 3 as a fisherman, even though I'm digging it, dude. I'm really, really liking the fishing. Kind of relaxing. Put some music on in the background. Use this program where I can actually see what you guys are saying and watch a movie on that. I think all the XP is the same right now. 40 XP. Yeah, and it probably should increase depending on how difficult the fish you're getting. These are... kind of like level 2 fish. You start out with really, really low level fish right next to the entrance of where you come out of your first town. And then they have even harder ones. You go into the rainforest and you can use like moss and all sorts of crazy things. Haven't checked if the quest from fishing is more. Please, you guys would be single. You know, women of this period only like rich guys. You know, I'm actually kind of rich if I sold all my gear. But definitely not as rich as some of the level 20s running around who apparently have not slept since the game came out. It's only been out for like 3 weeks, dude. And these guys are already level 20, and that's not an easy task. And not only are they level 20, but they're not just level 20 on one character. They're like level 20 on like their musket, their wizard, their warrior, their archer, you know, 2 or 3 of the classes. I haven't seen anybody who's level 20 on all of them yet, but would not surprise me if somebody was out there doing it. 5 gold, don't... Their drum in this game is the currency, which makes me think of like Sleepy Time, drum. Or maybe it's like drama meat is what I'm thinking of. They grinded, it skipped all quest. What's the fun in that? Yeah, see, I don't see that being very fun either. I did a little bit of grinding just because I missed this starter quest. I missed it for a long time, and that's because I didn't realize that you had to go back into the cook's house. So he gave me a quest to go get some mushrooms or something like that. I finished that quest, gave it to him. He gave me the reward of being able to make healing potions, and I was so super excited about doing that, I immediately left and went to go make the healing potions. And I don't know if you remember, when you go into the cooking hut, it loads like 5 times, like every inch and a half it does another load in. So when I talked to him, it didn't immediately pop up with the quest like he had another one available. So I thought that was the end of it, and I left that hut and I never went back into the building. Apparently he had another quest that started the whole long line of this one. So I left that area and just went off exploring. I was grinding mobs to kill, try to find my way to tougher areas and find quests available in those new towns. And yeah, I missed a lot of things, but not because I wanted to. It's just because I made a mistake really early on and didn't check all my surroundings. So yeah, the grinding is not that super enjoyable, but it does get you better at your class. I did notice that after about 4 hours of grinding with my Musketeer, I don't miss nearly as often. I got familiar with what the orbs look like, so I think there is a benefit to doing it. But it's like with anything, it's it has its place, but probably not something that you really want to go out and do very often. And I found that after I did a fair bit of grinding, I would I would stop for a little bit and just do some fishing. It's a nice little change of pace. It gives the mobs a chance to respawn behind wherever you're killing. And I don't know, there's something very peaceful about looking at the waves here. Now, you can see the texture is different for the water, but you don't actually see the waves. You don't see a 3-dimensional aspect to this water. And I think that is something they're missing, because this game is 3-dimensional. And every game you play out there always has 1-dimensional water. It's just a flat surface with the texture on it. And I don't want to see that in this game, because they have so much opportunity to do more. And like I said, it's super early, so I'm not giving them a hard time. I'm not being like, oh, you guys need to do that now. I'm looking forward to the day when that changes and they do start giving like squalls in here, and you can see the waves getting bigger, and maybe rogue waves when they give you the ability to go out there on a boat yourself or a little raft. You know, you really don't want to go out there into the full ocean, because you'll tip over and fall into the water and drown and then respawn back at the graveyard because you're silly and you try to take on, you know, like the end-all be-all fish. It brings back, I'm going to catch one more fish, and then we're going to head over and turn that quest in, guys, in case you're wondering what's going on. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of Sword Art Online. There was an episode in that one where they kind of retire for a little bit, the two of them. They get married and they find a little cottage. And while they're on that floor, there is a fisherman down there that's talking about like the biggest fish in the lake. He's like the Loch Ness Monster. And not only do you need a high fishing skill to catch him, but once you catch him, you have to fight him. So it's a combination of combat and fishing. So there may be either like one person who's really good at fishing and he has a group behind him waiting, or it may just be like, I'm going to solo that sucker, not only because I'm a good fisherman, but because I'm a good fighter as well. Even Skyrim tried to make 3D water, but they had a huge budget. You know, I don't think it really... I have no idea. I mean, maybe it does take a big budget to do something like that, but I think since everything else is 3-dimensional in this game, throwing in 3-dimensional water probably isn't beyond the realm of possibility. And it would add so much more to the game when they did. This is like the worst fishing spot ever. Let's point out in this direction, see if we can get a little bit more. There are no schools of fish out there, which would indicate that there's, you know, a huge fishing, you know, school here. But this spot right here, I've caught a catfish, which, you know, as you can see, is not very good. And the spot over where the dungeon is a good spot. If we don't catch something on this one, we're just going to go ahead and head out and turn that quest in. But wanted to show you guys here. Now, when you do catch something, you have to jerk really... there we go. I got one. And then you got to reel it in. Now, if you hold the trigger button down, you're supposed to be able to reel it in faster, but your fishing line will turn red and snap. So you don't really want to do that too much. I like winding it in naturally without holding the trigger button down, and my fishing line has never snapped on me. There we go. and you can see the weight on there, 2.31 pounds. Not the biggest fish I've ever caught, but not a horrible one either. So let's put our weapons back on. All right. Get our weapon back out. You see our life is going back up. That's pretty good. By the way, this place looks beautiful. I like the statues on the horizon. Yeah, I don't know if you have been watching very long, Cypher, but we were just up there finishing off a quest, and they have one of every statue for the different abilities that you can do. So if you're playing a Musketeer, they got a statue up there for that. If you're playing the Warrior, they got a statue for that. The Archer, the Wizard, whatever it is. Some of them are kind of in rough shape, and other ones not so much. Their legs are super thin, though. Like, I think that's the only strange thing about it. But if you look at this little light over here, I just kind of wanted to point it out. Right off to the side, you guys can see a little firefly in there. I know it's kind of hard because it's really bright, but there it goes right there. It's floating away, and it will come back. You'll see another one like right over there. Little light bugs. It's just a nice little detail that they throw in there that I think maybe a lot of people might miss, but other than that, pretty sweet. I mean, I got the graphics up as high as they possibly can go, and if you don't have any of these little shards of grass coming out, you don't have any of these little flowers. But earlier, I made a wrong turn. I guess I should say wrong turn. It's a turn into a zone that was far out my own level, so I shouldn't have been there. I almost got one shot at just going through that area. But it was beautiful because they had this huge field, like as far as the eye could see from one side to the other, with these purple flowers. And I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of a kid when I went to go see bluebonnets. I don't know how many of you guys know about Texas. Bluebonnets, you can't really, it's a state flower kind of thing. So here in Texas, you'll see them all along the side of the road. There's entire fields with it. You can't destroy them. So if they grow there naturally, you just have to wait for them to die on their own before you're allowed to cut the grass. It's very weird. That's a thing, but they're beautiful. And there's fields when I was a kid that we used to go walking in, and it would just be bluebonnets, as like literally as far as you could see. And it just kind of took me back to that. The graphics aren't realistic in that nature, but they're close enough. I mean, you can kind of lose yourself in it if you let yourself, take up those memories. But this town right here, kind of empty, kind of sparse. I think it needs a few more villages or villagers walking around, maybe walking back and forth to each other, talking to one another. I do like video games. Usually it's games where you have to like kill other players, like Call of Duty or mystery games where you're trying to solve something, where the guys are walking around, and if you stay there long enough, you can actually hear the different conversation topics they're talking to one another. Like, oh, did you hear about Frank? He just had a block fall onto his foot, and now he's out for the next week. And the other guy's like, oh yeah, I remember that. The lucky devil. Wish I could get 2 weeks off or something like that. And then they go back along their path where they're actually patrolling. Like things like that, but then give them conversation topics that have something to do with the quest. And if you stay there and listen long enough, you get the quest. Or maybe it tells you kind of like maybe where to go to dig for treasure, or just so many different possibilities I've seen video games use. But in a world this open, it kind of lends itself more to it. So I'm waiting to see how they integrate those into here, if they integrate those things in, and how well people actually like it. I may be the only one that even wants any of that stuff, but I think I'm probably not. All right, here we go. Finally going to be able to turn this quest in. It took us a little bit. We did get 2 fish out of it, so not too bad. Aww. I assume by the look on your face, those traders won't be bothering us any longer. Good. Well, you've done all right, I suppose. For a new recruit, here's an advance on your pay. Report back when you have rested and eaten. Well, I am rested. Haven't eaten anything. I did catch some fish, so we might have some lunch later. If you ain't heard of him by now, there's an old man, a witch doctor of some sort, living out by the lake Sunana. He's been practicing pagan healing spells for some time, but the order has been too, busy to pay him much attention. Well, this new bishop of ours, he's pinned a cut the crap kind of letter for the old raisin and needs it delivered. This is where you come in, head south towards Wonderwood. Last we knew, he was camped near the mountains. I think I know exactly where this guy is. Let the old codger know we won't be tolerating his tricks for much longer. Get him to pack his bags and head off somewhere else. Let's see. Before we say I'm on it, let's talk about the lake. They say a lady of the lake dwells beneath those waters, pagan whisperings. I don't rightly believe it myself, but still, there's a hint of truth to the rumors. There was a lady Suanna back in the old monarch days of Kingport, noble woman, sister of the queen. Story goes, she got her heart strung, tied up with someone who shouldn't have, ended up casting herself off the Cayena foothills, drowned her pretty little head in that lake. Guess that's why folks around these parts still say the place is haunted. Nothing like a bit of tragedy and love to get the imagination flowing. Aww. Let that old codger know. Okay, so let's see. Pagan rituals. There's a little bit of text there. Seems like there are cultists, witches, warlocks, and wizards everywhere these days. Can't step out of your front door without trotting on the toes of a stray necromancer. They all need to be burned at the stake, if you ask me. It's bordering on some kind of mania. We call them kindling. Good for nothing but throwing on a fire. Jeez, dude, this is rough. I've heard them lowering villagers, taking into hushed tones, telling one another of strange signs in the sky, tall, pale figures out of the moors, locals becoming more attuned to the demons and the power that filters and fingers through reality. Folks are just going mad. They need to devote their time to the scriptures, if you ask me. Let that old codger, okay, we are on it. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Of course, you are. I'm not paying you if you just stand around with your thumbs up your butt. Head out now and report back with the old man's answer. You, my friend, have a tongue on you, and you got some issues with burning people. So we're going to head out now before we have to do something about that, young man. But Tita's, he's a little bit of a butt. Now, one of the things that I have noticed in this area, because I spent a lot of time grinding just a little bit off to the right and over here to the side, the area changes at night. Some of the mobs change too. I hear your finger pun coming. Yeah, Cypher, if you're still watching, we had a little bit of a finger licking time earlier. I caught a finger off of one of the mobs. Was it Decayed or something? I can look at it real quick actually and see what it was, but we yeah, there we go. We got there we go. A rotten finger in the state of Denmark. And the puns were real, guys. The puns were real. It went on for like 10-15 minutes, so I'm not getting rid of that finger. It's a little kind of memento now. I'm stuck on a sign. All right, so let's come over here. Now, ideally, I think what you're supposed to do is go around the wall to get to where we're going, but one of the cheats is you can actually zap through walls, so if you don't really want to worry about having to fight creatures, just go into town and then like zap through the wall on the other end. But you don't know what you're going to zap into. There could be a mob sitting there waiting for you. I happen to know where the mobs are, so it's not really that big of a deal for me, but I'm just kind of coming in here because I want to make one last check to make sure there's no quest in here. And these wine barrels, I'm hoping that certain villages have certain items that you can get a hold of if you travel there and then bring them back and maybe sell. Maybe there's like a whole trade network thing going on. So that's the little cheat right there, is you can warp through these walls, otherwise you'd have to walk. These wolves over here turn into something a little bit more dangerous at night. They actually turn into almost not a werewolf, but like a darker version of the wolves that are standing right there in front of you. And when you kill them, or actually when you're fighting them, if you don't kill them fast enough, they spawn 2 more wolves of the kind you see right here during the day. So if you're killing these over here during the day and you're having a hard time doing it, my suggestion is when it turns nighttime and you can see all the stars out here, don't take those guys on. They're going to kick your butt, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. AC is going to wear that finger like the one guy did in the Highness with the Minotaur horn. Yeah, or the guy in like Universal Soldier or any movie in the Vietnam era where they wear like ears around their their neck. I don't think I have enough yet to make something like that, but and it's a small finger. That Minotaur thing was not that small. All right, so I found this guy a long time ago when I was playing, and it had a little thing over its head like he was for a quest, but he wouldn't actually give me one, so he's a little bugged out too. If you happen to find him, guys, I guess apparently he's for the main quest line, but you have to have it before you can talk to him. I suspect that you've never met anyone like me before, so I'm curious to see how you handle this task you've been given. Will you perhaps be the kind to demand of me? No, that's not it. Perchance you'll try a more subtle approach, pleading. No, that would be beneath you. Egads, seduction? No, not really. Well, whatever the case, Bishop Roma and his ridiculous order can continue in their wishing that I'd simply, how did they say it, fall off the map? I doubt it will happen anytime soon. A response. You do what? Why, I'm the evil wizard. Don't they tell you anything in that order these days? I'm the occult-wielding blind pagan performing of the darkest arts known to mankind. Or at least that's what those pious morons would have you believe. In all honesty, my days of conjuring up demons and speaking with the dead have long passed. Ah, youth, I mostly offer healing to folks who can't find it anywhere else. Take the Runevale family, for example. You've heard of the Runevales, right? The nobles of the Narrow Orchard. Yes, well, Lady Runevale couldn't hold on to a child to save her life. Baron, I believe, were the words the medics told her. Well, she and Lord Runevale paid me a visit. Oh, well, 12 or 13 years ago, shortly after they grew bored of their adopted child. Well, that's horrible. Marcos, Alas, were who I am to judge. Anyhow, thanks to my wicked ways, they have a young Lord Ethan running around their orchards causing all sorts of mischief. That guy is pretty evil, dude. But we might find out he's a good guy, so I'm okay with it. Oh, and the enforcers with an open mind. Very well, should you ever need my devilish rune speak to provide you with restoration, come see me, and I'll gladly offer what I can. Well, whatever the case, Bishop Romana... Okay, so a response? Oh, right. I'll read the letter, if it pleases you, in your pocket. To the pagan of Lake Suana. Well, that's not very polite, is it? Blah, 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 blah. Cease and desist, forced to commit grievous bodily harm. Yes, no. Their letter read, oh, don't worry, I'm not the kind to shoot the messenger. However, I'm sure you know where you can tell that silly little bishop to shove his hollow threats. Go on, go tell him that for me, will you? Oh, and how I'd love to see his face when he hears those words. I don't know why that pops up every time I hit that button. I love the midget part. I remember that around his neck. Okay. Alright, so this dude is not afraid. He's probably been life-threatened many times. So let's double check. Return the letter to the wise one, has penned and delivered to Sergeant. Alright, so we just got delivered to the Sergeant. We don't have to actually go all the way back to the Bishop, which is nice because that's a little bit of a run. So we're going to go out a different way than the way we came in. You guys will... Sorry, guys. You guys will be able to see the Burning Woods over here. I like to say Burning Woods because it's more like EverQuest style. It looks beautiful at night. It's daytime, so it's not like shining as brightly as it normally does. You guys can see a massive stag over there. He's actually one of the mobs I think we're going to have to kill for a quest here in a little bit. These dragons, though. These dragons. I killed these things so long. Like 5, 6, 7 hours. Just killing these dragons. I'm going to kill another one just, you know. I think we actually need it for a quest. There we go. One down. But yeah, it's really cool. These things are constantly on fire. Not all the trees are. You're obsessed with EQ. I kind of am, dude. We've been playing that game for how many years? But no, it's a game that reminds me a lot of this one in so many different ways. It might be me, but it seems what you are seeing is zoomed in because we can't see all the text. And your book looks like it's in our face when you open it. Well, it kind of is. I'm sitting down, so I was trying not to move back and forth, but as you guys can see, I mean, the view is a little bit further out. If I do that, I just wasn't sure what you guys are seeing, having not recorded too much when it came to VR. So I'll make sure to move left and right. As far as the book goes, I mean, I could move it out here a little further away. Can you guys see the entire book right there? Or do you need it closer? Like, that's probably way too much. So maybe like that? If that's better at that range. That's a good gun distance. I can kind of gauge that a little bit better. A little difficult to read at that point, but all right, so you can see it like that. I need to change this thing too. I don't know if you guys can see that, where you guys are actually typing out and I can read it, but super big. I think it needed to be like half that size. And so we're gonna bypass these dudes. I don't get experience for them anyways. And they don't really drop loot, as far as I've seen. Not these archers. We can't see it? Okay. So it's just on my end. It took me a little while to figure out how that program worked, and I think it's still kind of hit and miss. Cypher is old. He needs very close. Well, you know, whatever works. Like I said, it's because I'm sitting down. It doesn't really give you a lot of, like, arm reaching over to be able to get there, but... Okay, let's put my gun away. You like my little finger ring? Something new I just got. You can actually see it on my hand, which is kind of cool. Nice little touch. Alright, 1,000 experience points. Alright, so can you guys read all of that? Can you see it? I know what it's supposed to look like. It's like black paper that fills your full arm. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right, let me guess. The blighter ain't budging, is he? Those Hans eyes. Whew, arrogant bastard. I should have known a letter have no hope in getting that shriveled up prune to move on. All right, shrivel up, Dursley. Well, at least we tried. Next step will be sending someone less polite to go over that way and force him out, but that's not for us to commit or comment on yet. In the meantime, here's your pay. Alright, so I got a little bit of money. What else you got for me, honey? I just received orders from Commander Fess. You are to head to Narrow's Orchard. There's an urgent assignment begging for your attention. Best pack your things and head out straight away. Never wise to keep your commander waiting, especially one with such a temper. Alright, so... let's see. Narrow Orchard is world famous for their king sweet apples. Unfortunately, their orchard is under attack by monsters. Track down the workers in charge of the orchard and investigate the problem. Slay infested sprites. 5 gold. Is that what I didn't get 5 gold? There's no gold in this game. It's all dram. Yeah, I got 872 dram. Not too shabby. You know, getting a little bit of money. You need 2,000 just to buy a house or a room for rent, so it's not really all that great. Nero's Orchard. All right, so let's look through my book and find. I wish there's like little tabs where you can kind of skip past some of this stuff, so you don't have to go through every page. But I'm looking for the map. So Narrow's Orchard. I don't see it. We're actually down here, like off of the map. I don't know where that is. Well, we'll see what we can do. Buy that bag of rations and now you're broke. Where is the orchard, though? I'm thinking about it, guys. Give me a second. If you need to know, use the map on Steam. Use the map on Steam. How do you get to that, though? How do you get to the map? Sprites. Sprites. Where have I seen those sprites? I don't think they're over here. Like I'm thinking, no, they're not. Those the little weird creatures with no face. I forgot what they're called. Can he give you a direction like east, etc.? No, he didn't give me any direction. Let me get back to the right page. Sprite is right next to the code. Yeah. Infested sprites. Alt F4 joking. Narrow, the orchard is world famous for the king sweet apples. Unfortunately, the orchard is under attack by monsters. Track down the worker in charge of the orchard and investigate the problem. Infested sprite. I don't think there's any sprites over there. Huh. Narrow orchard is where the apple trees are. Yeah, but where are the apple trees? Is it back this way? I think it might be back that way. All the sheep are. Oh, so it is back this way. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you, Deb. Alright, let's see if we can find this. It's a big game, though, man. Like, you're trying to memorize where everything is. It's eventually going to come to me, but like I said, I only started maybe a week ago, and I've gotten to this point, which I think is fairly impressive, considering how much time I've been playing it. How much, but again, a lot of the time that I've spent playing the game has also been just running around, exploring. Like, there's something very satisfying about going to a place you've never been before and just seeing what's there, and you know, and then dying really quickly because the mobs are a much higher level than you are, and I think that's why I switched over to the Musketeer, because he's just so much easier. You just have to get the aim down. There's not a lot of skill involved with casting the spell. There's not a lot of exhaustion with playing the tank, and the archer doesn't seem like there's that much better either as far as exhaustion goes. If you have any loss of direction, I posted a map on the Steam community secrets, but yeah, only use it in dire need. I did look up at the page that they have for the wiki, but the wiki is, you know, obviously created by the game company. There's no public one yet. Maybe at some point they will have one, but there's only so much they're putting on there, which is good. I mean, you obviously don't want to have too much information for people because then it kind of loses its value. But yeah, I mean, if you're stuck, there should be something that helps you out, because it sucks so bad to not know where to go for hours, sometimes days. I mean, you feel like you hit a wall and you don't know what else to do. Too far? Wait, are you? Oh, please tell me you're that enforcer the order promised to send our way. Our orchard's been entirely overrun and Lord Roomvale's going to kill me. Alright, King Sweets? Why, surely you know about our little rubies. The King Sweet apple is only the most sought-after fruit in all of Sonabias, grown here in our very own. Alright, what else you got to say? Got his name for being the favorite snack of the King Lawrence, the 14th monarch of Kingsport. It said he liked to roast the apples over an open fire and sprinkle the flesh with spiced sugar and crumbled breads. That actually sounds pretty delicious. Wait, yes, you've already said that. Narrowed Orchard. Narrowed Orchard's been around for centuries It's one of the oldest townships. We predate the fall of Kingsport monarch by 200 years, and yet you're not in charge. I fear for my village. As of late, though, the beasts of the wilds are growing reckless. If we don't scare them off, our crops soon, it will ruin our little hamlet. Kingsport. The ruins of Kingsport lie a short distance to the north, on the back of Kingsport Lake, the place where once a thriving metropolis thrived. The size of a tiny island it is now. It's like Yoda when he's talking. It was home to the great monarchs of the old king before they angered the goddess, of course. A landslide came from the slopes of the ranges, pushed most of the great city into the water. Oh, I wouldn't advise you go there. Those who still live there are odd folk, funny looking and hostile to strangers. Alright, I am on it, baby. Oh, thank you. Hurry, hurry. King sweeties sound very fishy. Sound delicious. Apples roasted over a fire? I'll take some of that. Let's see. What did you give me? Slay infested sprites, right? That's all you got? Infested. I think these guys are the ones that I need to kill. Yep. Alright, let's get out my special little friend right there. Oh, yeah. Come on, sucker. Oh, you're going down fast. Didn't really hurt me that much. Yep, hundreds of handmaidens at your every whim. You know, I mean... I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, you know, if you're going to be king, it's good to be king. Let's talk to Bruce about that. It's the king, baby. This is my boomstick. If one more of you guys even look at me wrong. Shot smart. Shot that smart. He's doing a little bit of damage to him. Hail to the king, baby. Yeah, you guys got it. You know about the shaking the turret thing that will turn it into a healing turret. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want a healing turret, that is, they're nice. I definitely like the attacking one more often than not, just because it helps me get through the mobs a fair bit faster, so they don't cast their attack spells as much. We gotta heal up a little bit. If it is a really, really tough mob, I have found if I switch all my gears, all my orbs to straight up healing, I can actually survive the fight, just almost whittling them down with a regular attack. It's really slow, and the fight goes on for so long my finger actually gets tired of pulling the trigger, but it is a method to taking on mobs that are way too tough for you and getting some amazing experience in the process. What's up, man? I'm shooting you in your back. How'd that happen? 104 experience, that's bad. Come on, dude. Bring it on. Bring it home. This is the first time you actually guys have seen me get experience from these things. Fighting up the McGreenies. Oh, yeah. Beautiful timing, too. My life, if you guys can see that little bar right there, that green one, pretty low. So that was nice. But this is what Cypher was talking about. There you go. The thing I have noticed, though, is sometimes throwing it in the air will actually switch it to a different orb. So it really sucks to pick out the orb you want, like the healing one that I just put on, and then have it not actually be the healing one when it goes off. Kind of end the fight for you early. You know you're going to die because you just don't have what you need. But you can see how much longer this one is taking because that orb is not doing the damage. Now, I am full life, so there's really no downside. It's not like I'm going to die anytime soon, but yeah, that was the third time he's healed himself. So, yeah, healing one, it's okay. If it's needed. If it's not, go with the damage. Alright, going down. One more hit. Oh, he healed himself. Alright, you are down. Alright, let's go ahead and put up a new attacking orb. There we go. And I think I need like 4 more of these. I need like 12. And okay, I've killed like 8 maybe. Come on, come on, come on. I'm low on life. Get a little dicey here. Ooh, that was a little bit more dicey than I like. What's the orange orb? Alright, orange. Which one are you referring to? I mean, that one's green. This one is reddish. You can see the little specks flying towards it. That is the gravity orb. It pulls all the mobs into it. This one right here is purple with the little red one. And that, oh, this one right here, that's one orange with the green thing going around it. That is a healing orb that when I put it down on the ground, heals anybody within the vicinity. So I like to have at least one healing spell on me. What level of gaming? Next level of gaming? I actually think the game is amazing. It has a little bit of ways to go. I mean, there's not a huge amount of content in the game yet. Enough to keep you interested, enough to keep you satisfied for a few weeks, and then after that, you may be kind of running low on things to do. But the game's only been out for 3 weeks, so I like to think that if you give them a little bit of time, you give them a chance, they will more than make up for it and give you a game that you can be very proud of and is worth the money. I think it's worth the money right now. I have had a blast playing this game, and it's kind of hard to do because I have to work during the day, and then when I get home, I have like videos that I need to maintain for the YouTube channel and the stream, and yet all I want to do is kind of log into this sucker, and before long, like 8 hours have gone by, and I'm still playing it. Thankfully, I don't sleep at night. I'm an insomniac at heart, so I get a little bit more time to play because of that. I mean, I have to go to work at like 6 o'clock today, so... Oh, the Orchard seems safer now. Return to Guild City. Alright, so let's get... Let's see. My Oculus Rift is coming. Yeah, get the Oculus Rift, man. Get this game, is all I'm saying. It's amazing. Fallout 4 may be just as good in a way. I was really looking forward to that one too. I haven't tried it yet on the VR. I think Bethesda has really gone above and beyond to just like convert all their games into it and just really help push the VR as a whole. It's still fairly expensive though. $600 for either the HTC Vive or the Oculus. And then you still need a computer that can run it. So about $1,500 for a computer. Maybe a little bit less if you build it yourself. Maybe a little bit more if you buy it. You know, high-end one or something like that that you can like grow with or something. But yeah, like it's like $2,000 total or roundabouts to get the system and the computer if you don't already have one or the other. That's a high price for a lot of people. Sony, you know, with their PlayStation, they put out a headset for it. I don't know if this one's compatible with that, but oh man, dude, more people we can get in here, the better, is all I'm saying. There's a pretty decent population on if you play during peak hours. This server seems to be more North American than anything else. So peak hours, you know, obviously would be like Central Standard Time or Mountain Time or Eastern Time. This is really, really early, which is why you haven't seen very many people. It's perfect for doing the videos. That way people don't think I'm absolutely nuts for walking around talking to myself, because they can hear everything I'm saying if they get close enough to me. And yeah, it's a little weird. I'm sure for them. $1,000 plus for a good PC and Vive and Oculus 4 plus 6. Yeah. You know, it's it can get up there. On total 14 to 16 you need for the system. Yeah, like I said, it's expensive. It's expensive. Thankfully, I already had the computer, so all I needed to do was buy one of the systems. I bought my system early, back when they very, very first came out. Oculus was not nearly as good as the HTC Vive at the time. I mean, I think they closed the gap very well. So now they're about equal from what I've seen on reviews, a lot of the stuff that they've come out with. So I'm not putting one down or praising one over the other, because they're both room scaled down and walking, and you can sit down with both of them and so on and so forth. It's just all about which one you prefer to use. But yeah, I bought mine when it was $900, so I spent more than I wanted. 2 extra controllers if you want to play all the time without waiting 2 hours for batteries like I am now. It's time for relax, a pint of blood, and maybe a hand. Well, I don't know. My controllers don't die on me that often, and they last more like 6 hours, not 2 hours for me on the Vive. I'm not sure if you're using the Oculus, and that's why they're dying so quickly. The other thing is these controllers can be used, albeit not as easily, while they're plugged in. So what I'll tend to do is plug in like the left remote when I'm not really doing that much, especially when I'm just running back and forth to do stuff while I'm sitting in a chair. Now, if you're playing a spellcaster, you don't really use your left hand all that much. I mean, it's just spellcasting right now. Unless you're in a dungeon, you're holding a torch, you're using just your right hand or whatever spellcasting hand that you want. So you can give the controller a chance to charge up that way. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Having extra remote controllers would be nice as a backup for sure. Hey, you know, it gets tiresome walking around for like 5 hours, 6 hours. And like I said, I gotta go to work in, what time is it? It's 5:14, so I got like 40 minutes before I gotta head out of here and start getting ready for work. I got 50 dram for that. Another job well done. I'm judging softly. Here's your pay. I hope you're putting all this dram to good use and not just spending it on booze and useless contraptions. Well, you know, if you had booze in the game, I'd be using it on booze. But you don't. And you don't even have useless contraptions in the game yet either, so, I mean, why get my hopes up like that? That's about all I have for you for the next while. Oh, wait! Other than this one thing. Oh, sweet. What do you got? Alright, General is camped up in the fortress just outside of the city. His army running low on supplies and are in need of someone to run food and medicine their way. Speak with the General, but be warned, he's a right nasty piece of work, hence why I won't be doing this one myself. He gets me all hot and bothered. Ooh, sexy, sexy time. Do I feel some romance in the air? I think I do. He's right up your alley. All hot and bothered. Alright, same deal as last time. You'll get my pay minus a finder's fee, and you'll be darn glad of it. Just don't get the General talking about himself, or you never hear the end of it. It's loading here. It's a lot of loading. This thing popping up for no reason is really annoying me tonight. Never has happened before. But tonight, because I'm using this thing, I think that might be it. He said he's sitting and has a torch in one hand. Yeah, right. You know? It's nice and warm. Toasty. Alright, so we need to... High Commander seemed particularly concerned about her not having to see General. What is about to deliver the crate to General at the fort to the south of the Guild City. It loaded up right there, and I'm not even moving. Collect letter to Commander fast.
What?
Okay.
I thought it was...
Somebody here? Oh, there you go. So we're gonna go find the General, guys, over at the fort. It was raining in this town earlier, and when it did, you saw all this like kicking up smoke or haze. I like that. I hope that they continue with that. I like to see like monsoons. I like to see the rain so thick that you can't.
Hello.
Hey man, what's up, man?
Hey.
Yo,
are you the leader of that tribe?
No, I just joined it last night.
I'm that's like, oh, all right, never mind. I thought you. Wait, question. Do you know where I have to go for this? Because I literally have no idea. I thought I was going to the right spot. You might know. Maybe. Hopefully.
Sure. What are you looking
Sergeant Siegfried.
for? The sergeant. Oh yeah, yeah. He's out this way. I'll take you to him if you want.
Oh, he will. All right, bro. Peace,
Yeah.
bro.
All right, follow me, man. All right, so he's a little further out. We got to go through another village, but we'll get there. Right. Is it coming?
Hey.
Hey, sorry, man.
I thought he said he was gonna take me. Do you know who the sergeant is?
Yeah. I'll take you there.
Oh, okay. I thought he said it, so I didn't know. Your guys' voices sound exactly the same, so I was really confused.
No worries.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, I'm trying to find
Let me
trying to
way.
find the sergeant. I'm trying to find the
Sergeant.
sergeant. He's taking me to sergeant now.
Wait, I don't even know. I forgot who the sergeant was. What was the name of the sergeant?
Sergeant Siegfried.
What town? Did you say what town?
Near Holt's Gate. Holton's Gate. Return to the outpost near Holton's Gate and report to Sergeant Siegfried your actions of routing the rebel scum. Where'd he go? Oh, he's right there. Why are you so small? Look how small he is.
I'm sitting down.
He's probably
small.
sitting down.
Yeah, I got tired.
Oh, my knee just cracked. Oh my. Oh. Oh my Jesus. Oh. All right, hold up. Oh. Oh, standing for 12 hours. Oh, okay, we're good. Whew. Wow, that was an adventure. All right.
All right.
I have to look at my map.
All
I
right.
forgot what this
You ready?
where this gate was.
Oh.
Ultim's
I think he's
Gate.
taking me.
Oh, he's taking.
Let's
me?
go, big boy.
All right,
Yes, sir. Peace, man. Oh my God, my knee just broke. Oh. All right.
This guy's...
This is a far walk. Please tell me this is not a far walk.
It's a little bit of a walk.
Oh, Jesus, I don't think my back can hold this. Oh, I just want the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's all I want right now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's upstairs. I'm hungry.
Oh, that's you. All right.
And the hose in the back hole, push the back hole. Boom, boom. Oh, you're Musketeer too. Aha, Musketeer gang. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I tried the wizard, but he's kind of complicated.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I like it.
You know what? When wizards are crying because they can't get healed and we're coming to the rescue, you know what? That's all that matters.
Right. They're pretty powerful, dude. I mean, when they get their spells down, they can kill things pretty quick.
Yeah, and you meet the people that are level like 15, they don't even know how to do like the simple spells, and you're kind of fucked in a way.
Yeah, I ran into a level 20, though. He was able to cast 3 spells before the first one even hit the target, though. And, like, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, dude, there's some people that are freaking amazing at that shit. Like, that, some crazy crap.
I couldn't do it,
Like,
but...
you know, I can't draw, so, you know.
Right, I'm right there with you on that one. Maybe one day I'll get the hang of it. I like to figure out how to do the res spell at the very least, if nothing else.
The what? The res?
Yeah.
Thank you. I need to kill all of these guys. Feel that, man.
Oh, crap.
Domino!
died right there, guys.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.